For this particular problem, we are going to look at the titration of a strong base with a strong acid. This is the exact problem that is in section 11.1 in your book, in chapter 11, and it goes over in the table that is given, and also in the figure. It also talks about the titration of KOH with HBr being your titrant. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go over the calculations of how to create the titration curve that is given in your book. So the calculations are already in your book, but this is just worked out for you, so we're following along with the book basically. Okay, so the very first thing that you want to do that is also given in your book is finding the volume at your equivalence point. So V sub E is going to be equal to the volume of your analyte, which in this case is going to be the 50 milliliters, and I'll convert that to liters. I'm going to use that concentration of the base that we started with, 0.0200 moles per 1 liter KOH. We know that for every 1 mole of KOH, it's going to react with 1 mole of your HBr. And then finally, we'll have our concentration of our HBr. Now what we'll get are the liters of the HBr required to react fully with the amount of base that we have. And you should get 0.0100, which is at 10 milliliters. And so what we're going to find is the initial pH is actually going to be just dictated by the amount of base that we have. So what we'll have is the initial pH is going to equal we'll first find the pH. First we need to find the initial pH, but we'll find the pOH first, which is going to equal the negative log of the concentration of your KOH, which is 0.0200 molar. Remember, it is activities, but we're making the assumption that the effect of the activity coefficient is going to be low, so we're just going to use concentration in this case. So our pOH is going to be 1.699 in this case, and this is for our pOH. And then our pH is going to be 12.301. If you look at the table in your book, it gives you for 0 volume of acid added, it will give you 12.30 for that initial pH. Okay, so that's the very first thing you need to do. Then there are 3 other points that we need to get in our titration curve. 1 is before the equivalence point, 2 at the equivalence point, and 3 after the equivalence point, so where we have excess H+. So that'll be the next video that I will be talking about.